I'm back at Hall Lake Day use area, and hopefully by the lighting you can tell it's fairly early in the morning. Not really, it's like, what? It's 10 o'clock right now, but early for me for getting out, which, not a good thing. But anyway, I'm back here at the day use area because I am going to be spending all day in the dunes, or at least I'm going to try to. Car's all locked up. I've got my pass in the window, and I've got a backpack full of stuff that should keep me satisfied for the day. Got my scope. I've got a book about Oregon dune plants that I plan on reading at least most of while I'm out here. It's not very big. And then I packed much more food than I normally do, which is good. I bought a whole loaf of French bread from the store, and I tore off a piece of it because that's what John Muir used to do. Basically, he would go into town, or he'd probably bake his own bread, but he'd just tear off a chunk of bread and then would go disappear into the wilderness, and that's what he would subsist on. That and whatever he managed to forage while he was out there. So I packed a little bit better than that. I don't have just the loaf of bread. I've got a few other things to keep me satiated, but I think it's gonna be fun. I'm probably gonna see a few people while I'm out here because it's MLK Day, so I expect more people are gonna be out and about. But it is beautiful right now. Oh, that first section of the hike wears me out, but I'll be pacing myself. I usually say that and then I don't, but I do plan on doing that because I want to be out here all day. Because, I mean, just look how gorgeous it is. I was debating if I was even going to need my jacket, and it's already getting pretty warm now in the sun, but it has been getting pretty cold here at night. These little beach strawberry and all the grasses and mosses on the ground, they're frosted over. So it's been getting pretty dang cold out here where it can stay wet and dark for a decent amount of the day. Well, I had a nice little rest here for a while, read one of the first chapters of my book about the Oregon dunes. That was pretty nice. There's a group out there with their dogs. So a few people out here already, but it's pretty nice. I was thinking about heading over to that dead forest section over there, but I don't know if I really want to work my way through all these steeper dunes. That's also closer to the John Dillenbeck Trail, which I might use that as a starting point for another one of these, so I could just come up and do that and then loop back around. So I think I might just head out from here closer to the coast. One thing I wanted to do before I left is I got out my microscope again because I thought, you know what, the snowflakes turned out pretty well. I wonder if the sand will, and what do you know? Pretty good. I was surprised with how well it focused on here. I'm trying to take some pictures. I wanted to get some up here at the top of the dunes, and I might just try and make it a habit to stop and do that wherever the sand looks a little bit different, just the texture and the colors and everything, because that is just so cool to me to check that out. I really need to use this thing more. But anyway, I'm gonna start packing up now and work my way down, and I think I'll start heading out these little tree islands here. It's pretty weird walking around in the section where there's no trails. I'm just so used to being at like Indiana Dunes and that kind of stuff where everyone's walked everywhere. You don't really have any other options to go around, but not here. Like nothing right here. I was planning on going into one of these sand islands, but it's pretty steep to get up that, and it goes for a ways. starts all the way down there. I don't even know if I can see the bottom really. So I don't know if I really want to scramble and do that if I find a better access point, maybe on the western side than shore, but I'll take this view of it for right now. There was a bald eagle that was flying around earlier. I wonder if it has a nest around here somewhere. So I made it down to the deflation plains, which is just kind of the vegetated area behind the foredunes right along the shore. Right here, it's about a half mile to the beach, and it's mostly just this continuous section of, this is probably coast pine. So I tried looking to see if there were any good spots. There really aren't. I don't know if I want to shove my way through this. Maybe if it was a bit thinner, but for a whole half mile, that'd be not super fun. I do want to do this another time. I want to make this a fairly regular thing that I can do, either just going back to the same areas or trying from different entry points. But I want to do it from the John Dillenbeck Trail, which is further to the south, and that has a section that is actually a bit thinner on the coast. So hopefully I can do that and actually get to the coastline a little bit easier there. But here, yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. I'm gonna try and stick along this edge and walk for a little bit just so I can find another spot to rest and read a little bit more. It's already 1 o'clock, so I've got to start thinking about heading back fairly soon. I don't want to be out on the dunes while it's dark. At least not unless I'm very close to where I need to be. But yeah, I'll just keep cruising along here for a little bit. That flyover was crazy. I didn't realize it was a military helicopter. I just saw him coming over that hill, and it was coming straight over top of those two ATV guys out in the OHV area, and went pretty close to me. I was worried that it was someone coming out because it was a plane that flew over a couple times. I definitely didn't signal to him. I was like, oh crap, is that a Coast Guard helicopter coming to make sure that I'm okay? It's not like it's that hard to navigate the area, but no, they're just doing, I guess, some practice runs. So they took off down towards Coos Bay. But yeah, that was wild. Anyway, I'm just gonna post up here for a little bit and get a bit more reading in, and then I'm gonna start heading back up. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to this northern side, because that forest looks a little bit easier to access if I want to get in there. But there's also that big old blowout in the sand island there, so I might want to go check that out. I'll see. I'll kind of stick to this main empty strip, and I'll decide as I get further up. I can hear the coyotes over there. Yeah, I was gonna stay and read a little bit longer, but those coyotes howling not too terribly far away, I figured I might as well back off from the woods right now. I'd seen their tracks out here. I mean, there's a lot of people that take their dogs out, but usually they have paw prints with them, like these paw prints with these old footprints here. But there were a few sections where I could see a lot of prints and definitely no human footprints. So I figured that they were out here, and granted, they're not going to be doing too much during the day. They're more active at nighttime. But hearing that they are awake right now, I figured, you know what? I don't need to be out this far from everyone else. If anyone else is going to be out here, they're going to be further up in the dune complex. So we'll start working that way. See, these look like coyote tracks. Just not very big, but definitely that dog-shaped footprint. You can see the claws are out, so it's definitely not a cat. And it's all by itself. There's my trail that I just made, and there's a coyote trail, and nothing else. So, one lone guy out here, probably a while ago. This sand doesn't move around too much, aside from very windy days. Yeah, I haven't seen any more of them or heard them since I left, but I imagine they'll probably stay pretty close to where they were at. I'm gonna be so bummed when this good weather goes away. I think there's 1 or 2 days left of it, and man, it's just so wild seeing the Pacific be so clear. I'm used to not being able to see that far out. I mean, down that way, you can basically see Cape Arago, which I just feel like I don't get to see that often. Granted, it's a pretty limited view from the Umpqua Lighthouse, which is where I usually go, but maybe if I get done early, I'll go whale watching, but I don't know. I just need to be better about heading out on days like this because it's just so beautiful. I finished the real reading section of my book down there. There was a big group of high schoolers or something hanging out on that side of the dune, so I decided to come back over this way. And this is actually kind of the edge of that sand island, that little forested area. So I might go up a little bit further, try and see what it's like. It was pretty easy access here, but at least from this spot, pretty nice view of the ocean. There's something burning up in Reedsport, it looks like. Hopefully it's not a big old fire, but whatever it is, it's built up enough smoke to carry pretty far out over the Pacific. But not my problem, at least right now. Got up a little bit further. It's pretty impenetrable. I could kind of skirt on the outside through the grass here, but I don't want to mess up the grass that's holding this together. And I don't need to get myself all caught in these shrubs in here. So I got a nice little look into it. This ground covering is really neat. It's very pretty. But yeah, don't plan on going any further into it. Maybe another time if I see a better trail at some point, but I'll just take it as is for now. Well, I was working on a nice sketch from right here, but my butt is completely asleep because of the way I had to sit on the slope. So I think I'm going to start heading out at least a little bit further. Might find another place to stop, but yeah, I'll finish this sketch in a little bit. I already grabbed another picture, but yeah, this is a really neat spot. I'll have to come back to this sometime. Maybe bring a chair or something. I'm about where I was when I first came out here, the day that I found my GoPro again. Now you can see the features of the dunes a lot clearer. It's pretty big over there. A lot higher dunes up there, but that's in the OHV area. And here's the little tree island. And there's down towards Coos Bay. It's pretty crazy. This whole area is just right here. I really need to make sure that I come out here and just spend a day like this. There's just so much that I can see out here. Such an awesome place. I was hoping that I would see some while I was up here, and I was just kind of looking back from this spot on the high dune, and I saw a whale spout, and there were actually 2 of them. They just dove down, so I don't know how long they're going to be. If they're gray whales, which I assume they are, then they won't be very long. It's so hard to tell from especially this distance. I'm probably 5 miles from them or so, 4 or 5 miles. But man, I really hope they come up again soon. I don't want to get them too close to the glare of the sun. I just saw them. Now I'm gonna have to maneuver this perfectly, try and find them again. Well, the videos of the whales didn't turn out too well, but that's all right. I still got to see them, which is pretty nice. I'm glad I was wearing my Whale Watch shirt today. I feel like it's usually a good luck charm whenever I'm out on the ocean, or somewhat close to it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for right now. I definitely want to come back out and just kind of do some different areas. Hopefully I can find a spot where I can get all the way down to the beach, because that'd be really cool. But yeah, it's getting pretty late. I've been out for almost 6.5 hours. So I think that's gonna wrap it up. I lied. That wasn't the end of the video. This is because I decided to do the rest of the Hall Lake loop on the way back, and I found this waterfall. I didn't know this was here. It's very pretty. I'm not going in. I had just pulled up to the Umpqua Lighthouse, and right by the buoys out there I saw a couple spouts. I think I got a little bit of a video on it on my phone. But yeah, they're still heading south now. It's the first time I've caught them at sunset though, so that was pretty. And I actually might be coming out here later because the aurora are supposed to be really good tonight for Oregon. So I'm gonna try and see if I can catch that. That'd be a heck of a finale if it works out. So right now I am at the Umpqua Lighthouse again. I tried going from the viewpoint that was a little further south on the highway, but it just wasn't aimed north enough. This is the only spot that I can think of nearby that has a pretty decent view to the north. The only issue is the beams from the lighthouse are a little distracting, but I don't know. I'm gonna be out here for probably, I'd say at least an hour. I'll try and see if anything comes through. I've already been seeing posts that people are seeing it further north on the coast, so hopefully we'll be able to see it here. Okay, well, you guys probably can't see anything right now, but I moved from the lighthouse to the crab dock just to see if it was any better here looking due north and not having to worry about the beams of light from the lens. But still doesn't look like much is going on. I can't get anything to pull up on my phone or on my GoPro, at least that I can see right now. Maybe with a little bit of editing tomorrow morning I can, but for right now it's pretty bland. So I'm gonna start heading back. I don't need to be out here too late. It's already past 11, so I'll start working my way back, and who knows, maybe there'll be another storm tomorrow night and I'll come back out, but not looking like a good viewing tonight, so oh well, save it for another year.